As you can see on my screen, exactly $12 million in the last 3 years with this one business model. My name is Luca, I'm 23 years old, and I have been doing this one business model for the past 4 years now. And this is probably a business model that you haven't heard about yet because not many people are actually doing it, and especially actually doing it in the correct way. But obviously the way I'm doing it right now just literally determines success. And before I started this business, I was in a situation which I didn't really want to be in. I was working a 9-to-5 job. Granted, I was making a decent amount of money. I was making like $4,000 a month at my sales job in the UK, but I didn't have any freedom. I didn't have any time freedom, location freedom. I couldn't go where I want. I couldn't travel where I want. And obviously now I'm able to live in villas just like this every single day and literally just go where I want anytime I want. I was literally just stuck in some dead-end job. It was a sales job. I was making $4K a month. I was never really going to progress with it. So I knew that I needed to start something which was actually going to make me a shitload of cash. And that business is OnlyFans System Model, OFSM. Now you've probably heard of the business called OFM. Well, this is slightly different. So obviously OFM is based around when you as an agency create a complete custom system for a creator, and that way the creator can get more results and do what she enjoys to do and create the content, and you handle the rest, right? Now there are some similarities, but with OFSM we have one singular system for the entire business, and then essentially we are choosing creators to fit into our system. And because our model acquisition is fucking on point, we can find a lot of these creators to fit into our system, and it just runs so much smoother, right? And by the way, I'm not completely hating on OFM. I don't hate the business model. It's what made me a millionaire back in 2024. And before starting this business, obviously I tried all of the different business models that people were banging on about all day, every day. You need to get into drop shipping. You need to get into trading. I tried every single one of these business models. Trading, I lost like 4, 5, 6K, I believe. I put all of my money, I chucked into trading, and I lost it. Same with drop shipping. I got the money back. The only thing I was doing was paying for ads. I might have got 1 or 2 sales, but at the end of the day, I was just unprofitable as fuck. So I was literally trying things, wasting my money over and over again for probably about a year until I actually got into the OFM business model. And literally the very first month, I signed a creator. We got her to $21,000 in the very first month, and I was on 50% of that. I'd literally hit my first 10K month in my first month doing the business. Now granted, I was doing like hella different businesses for a very long time. I was testing things, trying, I was failing. But the very first month in OFM, I did actually make money, which was different to a lot of other people that got into it. They wouldn't make money until their 4th month or their 5th month, but first month I literally made money. And back when I was trying all of these different things, like I literally came across just some random guy on socials saying, oh, I actually manage OF models and I take 50% of their income. If they're making 50K a month, then I'm going to be taking 25K a month. And I was just like, no way is this fucking real. Like I didn't really believe it at first. I think when you lose so much to other business models that you just put your trust in, you're just like, fuck this. I don't really want to try anymore. I was back at work at the time and I was like, okay, if I'm actually going to try again, I'm going to give this one my 100% effort, which is when I came onto the OFM business model. Obviously, if you don't actually know what I do when I talk about this business, essentially we input a system which allows OF models to grow on social media and monetize it on the back end. That's essentially, in the simplest way possible, what we actually do and what my business does. So we market the creators, whether that be on Instagram, on TikTok, whether that's linking them up with influencers. You've probably seen these different videos with influencers and OF models, and obviously it's to promote the OF models, right? So it could literally just be any real form of marketing. And we want to drive traffic to the OF page. When the subscribers are on the OF page, we just sell a shitload of content on the back end to just blow the accounts up. We got accounts doing 10K a month. We got accounts doing 100K a month, 50K a month, 200K a month. And what I showed you earlier was just one of my inflows, which is our CRM. And we've got several of these inflows. And obviously through the time that I have been doing this business model, we've run into a lot of issues, a lot of scaling issues, and especially in the OFM space, there is a shitload of issues that everyone runs into. One, it's not scalable. Like, it's very, very rare to find an agency that scales past 150K a month. It's not scalable, okay? And now I know you're probably thinking, Luca, 150K a month is amazing. I would do anything for that number. And it's like, okay, cool. Like, you might think it's a lot. It's really not a lot in reality, but it's kind of impossible to scale past 150K a month with the OFM business model. The reasoning behind that is mainly because team costs are crazy high in OFM. You need different staff members, 50 different staff members for every single part of the business, and it's just not scalable, just because you don't really have that many people that you can actually trust, and it just becomes extremely difficult to scale. You're creating a different system for every single creator that comes on board, and it's just not feasible. And that's why I created the OFSM business model, the OnlyFans System Model, which is where we have a system which we can input into any creator who's on OF, on FanView, or whatever it is. We can scale their social media accounts, we can drive traffic to the OF, and we can make a crazy amount of money on the back end with the chat team. So I went through about a 6-month period of trying to scale my OnlyFans management agency, where we're making the custom processes for every creator. A 6-month period. It wasn't until that 6th month where I was like, hold on a second, I'm doing things absolutely fucking backwards. I'm doing things backwards. This is not how a business is run. I'm investing so much money into each of these creators' businesses. They don't seem to give a fuck for sometimes, right? Sometimes the creators don't give a fuck. And it's like, it's their business. Who am I to invest into their business and like not even get much return? And it was just done. This is not the way it's supposed to be. The creators have to fit into what we do. Like, we know how to make money. We make over 150K a month at the time, right? We know how to chat, we know how to market, we know how to do all of these things. The only thing standing in our way is having to switch up the system and try and test on every single creator that comes into the business. And as soon as I figured that out, it was like shit really started to pop off, because we could hire 3 models every 2 weeks and the quality remained the same. Usually back in the day, we'd hire 2 models a month, and we'd have to create all of these custom processes, the custom systems, everything like that. And every time we'd hire a new model, the quality overall would go down, because we're putting way too much resources, way too much time, energy into each of these models. And the OnlyFans system model literally flipped the script 100%. We have one strategy, one system that we implement into any model's business. It can work, right? And it can blow up their results in the first couple of months. And I was like, damn, I've really been going wrong this whole time. And like through the time where I've been doing OnlyFans management, I've always been one of the best at what people find the most difficult, which is getting models. I can really get models very, very easily. And that's not meaning to show off. I just know sales, I know objection handling, all of that sort of thing. So now I could actually get as many models as I wanted. As long as my chat team was growing on the back end, we can keep the quality for the same for every single creator that comes on board. They're happy, we're happy. And my very first month doing this business model, we got our first ever inflow, which was sitting around 150K a month. And we were already 100K a month increase on our last month, right? So 250,000 from 150,000, literally down to me training my whole team on one singular system, which they know and which they literally know off by heart, and us being able to hire more models, which then obviously increased our revenue further. I could also drop several staff. I didn't need some staff that I was paying, so I cut my costs. It went to 250K a month, then 270K, then back to 250K, then 300K, then 350K, then 400K, etc, etc, etc. And now I've got more time, I've got more freedom, I can literally do what I want. My team is happier, they're having to work less. Obviously, I can stay in whatever villa I want to. I'm right now here in Bali. This villa's like $5,000 a month. If you currently do OFM, you're probably stressing the fuck out every single day, especially if you're the CEO, you're probably stressing out. And that's what I was like before. I was stressing the fuck out every single day. Models were leaving. We couldn't provide the same quality service, which we used to when we had 3 to 4 models, right? Because then we had 20 models and we couldn't provide that same quality service. The difference is literally night and day between what we were doing before and what we're currently doing now. And the reason why most people fail at the OnlyFans management business is because they are doing the OnlyFans management business, which is find a creator, create a custom system, and scale her the fuck up. And you can do that with one creator, for sure. But the OnlyFans system model has pretty much allowed us to scale to numbers which were way beyond what we were previously doing. You know, most people don't have systems. Everything is custom within their agency. They can't scale. Everything's a mess. Their team doesn't know what they're doing, etc, etc. But yeah, that's essentially how I am here today, right? I've generated over $4 million in profit by the age of 23, obviously $12 million as a business. And it's one of the reasons that I am here today. I'm more free than I ever was. I can do what I want. I can be where I want. I can travel where I want. I'm going to be documenting every single thing on this channel about, you know, the system, how we're going to scale the company, etc., etc. So make sure you stay tuned if you are interested. Make sure to go and follow my new Instagram in the description for more info on how you can potentially get started in this business model if it is something that you are interested in. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Take care.